Hello guys, John with you again, and it's time now for another update on the heffalump, or the elephant, okay, from ITALERI. And one or two things that I pointed out when I was doing the unboxing, we're going to rectify today, and also we're going to add another tool to the toolbox. Yes, another one or two tools, shall we say, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, so first of all, we'll go on to what I've after getting done on the so far on the model, and then we'll go into a new tool that we're going to utilize, and then we're going to go into a little technique, something to rectify something that, you know, where a kit might be lacking. Okay, and this is just one way of doing it. Okay, this is not the way of doing it. There are plenty. I will show you another one at another stage. We'll use it on a different part, but just bear with me and we'll get to it. Okay, first of all, anyway, with this we're after adding the side skirts. Okay, all this stuff up here, and a couple of small little hooks and cable bits and pieces. Right, now I'll get back to them again in a second, because this is where our little new tool comes in. Right, now this is all for the beginner. Remember, for those more advanced people will already know this, and they will already have this as part of their little arsenal. Okay, when it comes into the turret, we're after fitting the turret in, and as you can see how it all works. Okay, I said I'd show you before we close it all up. Right, there we go. And by that little mechanism, then the ball is kind of kept in place. Right, so we've got some bit of articulation, you know, in the gun. Okay, we can up and down and side to side, and we can go mental with it all together. Right, so that's as far as I've gotten with the kit. Now, I did say I'll show you the tracks tonight, but I'm not going to. We'll leave that for the next one. But what I am going to show you is, say, a new tool. And these are tools that you're going to have around the house. And if you don't have that around the house, and you're back out mugging people again, unfortunately. I'd rather you have to go and buy them. But who you'd mug for one of these, I wonder? We've already mugged the student for our highlighters. I suppose you could make sure it's either a metrosexual student, in other words, a man that's sort of well in tune with his feminine side or his masculine side and keeps himself nice and preened, or a female. I'm not saying you do anything nasty to the female, but you can rob her tweezers. Yes, a tweezers. Dead handy. Right, there's two types of tweezers that I use. Okay, one is a straight tweezers, and the other is a little curvedy one. Right, and these are dead handy for putting on these little small pieces. Right, so you can sort of put your bit of glue in place, pick up your piece, and you can fit it into place. So much handier than trying to sort of get your big chunky fingers in there, you know. Now, I don't have big hands, believe me. I've small, delicate hands, but even still, you try and get that in place and make sure it's right. It's a little bit awkward. Get yourself an old tweezers, and like I said, I use two different types. Say with the curved one now, that can get in and over, just in case there was other things around here. Right, so that's where the curved one could come in handy. Straight one, same again, you know, just whatever you get used to, whatever you're comfortable with. But tweezers, another handy little tool for the arsenal of model making. Now, getting back onto what I've said about a new technique. Now, if you remember in the unboxing, I said how I didn't like how smooth that was. Look at that. There is no way in hell that represents, you know, a metal kind of rolled steel or whatever it is. It's too shiny, it's too smooth indeed. Right, so you've already gone out and purchased yourself a bottle of this stuff. To me, extra tin, because I did recommend it. I did tell you to go off and buy a bottle of that. Okay, now I have an old bottle of it here, right? An old dirty bottle of it. Because after a while you start getting bottles of it. And once you use up a bottle of it, I'll show you sort of another thing you can do with a bottle, and sort of a 3/4 used bottle as well, at a later stage. I just have to do a little bit of preparation for that, and we'll be going into doing filling, okay? But for the moment, this is not filling, right? So what you do is take out your brush. You don't want that brush, not for this little technique anyway, but what you want is the fluid, right? And an old brush. Now, where did I put my feckin' old brush? I had it out a minute ago. As you can see from my desk, I am one of these really tidy people, and I look after everything. And there we go, right in front of me. Typical, isn't it? That's one of the joys of having loads of things all over the shop. You can have stuff right in front of you, and you can't find it. Now, you may have noticed on other people's channels how neat and tidy they are. Strange. I couldn't be that. Oh no, I'm not like that at all. Right, so what you do is use your ordinary hairy stick, paintbrush, right, and you wet your area with the glue. Now, don't go too much. About that much is plenty at a time, right? And as you keep wiggling your brush around, you'll find that it starts to soften the if it gets a bit too sort of near you there, right? Move it around, wiggle it up and down, and start patting it in like that. Once it starts to kind of, you can feel that the brush is starting to stick. It's time to stop then, right? Now what to do in here, up there, same idea. A little tappy tappy. Right, once you've done that, then get another area, another section. That's it. Show you the area nice and damp with the, to me, extra thin. We call it glue, but it's not, as we've explained earlier on. It's more of a, it's a chemical. Causes a chemical reaction and causes the styrene to melt, and it basically melts it together. It glues it together, so therefore you can call it glue for that. But try and glue anything else with it and it will not work. It just won't work. Again, once it starts to making that sticky noise, time to stop. Okay. One thing I will recommend, I wouldn't say recommend, but I will suggest to you that if you are going to do such a large thing as this turret, take a good break. Just do one side and take a break. Okay, don't do it all in one go, because this chemical is it's quite toxic, and it will get you pretty high, but not in a nice kind of high, sort of a headachy kind of a high. I suppose if you like that, you kind of sniff a bottle of it, but I'm not telling you to. Right, so get that, and you kind of see there, it's all nice and shiny. Don't worry about the shiny, right? But as you can see, it's no longer nice and smooth. Okay, so when you've got that section done, then that was done. make sure you cover up your tet. Tet is in Tamiya extra thin. Another thing to notice about Tamiya extra thin is if you spill any, clear it up straight away. Use tissue, get it cleared straight away into a bag, tie a plastic bag, tie up the bag, and dump it. Because if you leave it, it stinks to high heavens. Another thing is if you do spill it on your board, your cutting mat, whatever it is about the glue, it'll take all these lines off it. It really will. It'll just spill them away from you, right? So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to speed up the process of it. That's basically dry. Okay. If you've got one of these, right, what this is basically is a soft sander. Now this one has seen better days, as you can obviously see. It has seen a lot better days, actually. Okay. So when I say it's a soft sander, in other words, it's a very, 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 very fine grit sanding stick. I think it's nearly a 4000. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know anymore because I don't have the packaging of it. Okay, I got these from the United Kingdom, from a company called UMP, Ultimate Modelling Products. But there are other modelling companies that do these. It is one of the only kind of sanders that I will buy that is purely a modelling product, because I haven't that soft and flexible. I haven't seen one of them for any other purpose. Okay, so it is one of those items that is handy to have. It is handy to have. Now you get away without this stage, as in you don't really have to sand it down a bit. If you were okay with your tappy, it was nice. Okay. Now look at the texture on that now. Okay. There we've got our rolled steel texture. You compare that now to, say, the front. It is super smooth, shiny, not nice at all. Okay. So you've got the super smooth, too shiny, down to a nice smooth, still smooth. Okay, it is still smooth, but not sort of baby's bum smooth. Okay, it's sort of wrinkled old man smooth. And we've got our nice bit of texture. See it there? You can see it now up close. And as you can see, that's what rolled steel kind of looks like. Okay. Now all will look a lot better when we get on to the next stage, which is the painting stage. And when that's painted over, you will see completely that that smoothness has gone off it, and you've got a nice little bit of texture there on that. Okay, so another little hint and tip. Okay, so you've got a bit of texturing, we've got some tweezering, and we've got our kit to this stage. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. I'm going to get the turret all textured up. I'm going to do the same here with the sides of this, because they're a bit smooth, too smooth for my liking as well. Happy enough with it in all the other places, to be honest with you. It's just the sides here. I'm not going to worry about the back until I have this stuff to go onto the back of that, so I'm not really worried about it at the moment. But it's mostly the turret, really. I want to get that nice texture all over, okay, on the roof, on the sides, and in the back and the front. Okay, so that's it for this this little quick update. In the next one, like I said, we'll get around to the tracks. It's just that I forgot to grab a candle, and when I went looking there a couple of minutes ago, I couldn't find one. So we'll have to skip the tracks for tonight, and we'll deal with them the next time. So until then, lads, enjoy your modelling, stay safe. Hope you've got a couple of hints from tonight. No, I'm only talking about beginners. I'm not talking about experienced people. These are all things that people a lot of people would know. You know, maybe not the texturing one. That's something I only learnt myself recently. But you know, the tweezers and the tools and all those kind of things, you know, they're all sort of handy little tools of the trade. So anyway, lads, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe again. Like I said, I always kind of have a habit of repeating myself. And we'll see you again soon. So, in the meantime, go out and buy yourself a kit. You build it, and you enjoy it. See you soon. Take care.